Welcome to Super Showdowns, the ultimate destination for epic battles and legendary showdowns. Join us as we put iconic superheroes, villains, and mythological figures against each other in thrilling matches of strength, strategy, and skill. The sun dipped low over New York City, casting long shadows between the towering skyscrapers of Manhattan. On the rooftop of the Baxter Building, Benjamin J. Grimm, better known to the world as The Thing, sat alone, the amber glow reflecting off his craggy stone skin. His massive arms rested on his knees, and his ever-watchful blue eyes stared into the horizon as wind whipped around him. He had fought cosmic gods, mutant titans, and interdimensional horrors. But lately, it wasn't the battles that haunted him. It was the quiet, the silence of knowing that the world still saw him as a monster despite his countless sacrifices. Down below, the city roared on, oblivious to the rumbling that echoed far from its heart. In the sewers beneath the Bronx, something stirred. In the fetid tunnels of the city's underbelly, Emil Blonsky crouched in the darkness. Mutated beyond recognition, his hulking greenish-yellow form dwarfed the crumbling pipes around him. Once a Soviet spy and decorated soldier, now he was the Abomination, the living weapon that even the Hulk once feared. But this wasn't just another hiding spot. No, this was a hunting ground. Something inside him had changed. For weeks now, strange surges of rage and psychic pulses had drawn him toward New York. Something deep, primal. Whispers echoed in his mind, like a calling from an ancient, unknown place. And always, the whisper carried the same image. A monster, made of stone. Grimm, he growled. I see you. He clawed through layers of steel and concrete with ease, tearing open the subterranean walls like paper. Water burst through broken mains as rats and steam scattered in all directions. Above ground, tremors shook the city. Back at the Baxter Building, Reed Richards appeared on the rooftop with his usual urgency, his elongated frame bending unnaturally, as he held a data pad flickering with seismic readings. Ben, we've got an anomaly brewing beneath the Bronx, Reed said. Gamma radiation, massive levels. You might want to sit this one out and let Banner handle it. Ben stood, cracking his knuckles like tectonic plates shifting. Nah, stretch, he rumbled. If it's who I think it is, I ain't sitting this one out. Reed hesitated. You're not like him, Ben. Don't let him make you forget that. Ben didn't respond. He didn't need to. This wasn't just another brawl. It felt personal. It felt inevitable. That night, in the decaying ruins of a condemned subway station, two giants came face to face. The Thing arrived in full force, crashing through an abandoned maintenance tunnel with his signature battle yell, "It's clobberin' time!" echoing like thunder through the concrete catacombs. There, standing at the edge of a broken platform, surrounded by hanging cables and flickering lights, was Abomination, his red eyes gleaming with savage glee. So the orange freak finally shows, Abomination hissed. Been dreaming of this fight, Grimm. I ain't your therapist, ugly, Ben shot back. You come up from your sewer hole to tussle, let's go. But don't expect me to hold back. Blonsky cracked his knuckles. Good.
Hey you, don't just watch. Subscribe, please.
I want to see what breaks first. Your body or your delusion that you're still human. They circled each other in silence for a beat. A freight train tension building between them. Dripping pipes hissed steam. The distant rumble of a subway car shook the tunnel walls. Then, a sonic boom of impact. Abomination lunged first, claws slashing through the air with deadly force. The Thing blocked the blow with both arms, skidding backward and tearing up the tiled floor beneath him. Sparks flew from hanging wires as the first shockwave of their clash rocked the underground like a minor quake. This wasn't a street-level brawl, this was war. As the initial blows shook the tunnel, Ben began to notice something strange. Abomination wasn't just mad, he was focused, calculated. He was testing Ben's responses, probing for weakness, like a soldier in a tactical strike. "You ain't just a brute, are you?" The thing grunted between punches. "You got some kind of plan?" Abomination smiled, a grotesque expression of gnarled fangs and burning eyes. "I've been trained to dismantle enemies like you. Hulk was rage, you're doubt, and doubt cracks stone." Ben flinched, not from pain, but from the truth. That same doubt gnawed at him every day. Was he still Ben Grimm under all this rock? Or had he become what they all feared? That hesitation almost cost him. Abomination tackled him into a support pillar, collapsing half the station in an avalanche of debris. Pinned beneath concrete and iron, Ben's mind flashed with memories. Alicia's smile, Johnny's joke, Sue's kind voice, and Reed, always searching for a cure that never came. Was this his legacy? Dying in a hole against a monster that reminded him too much of himself? No. With a guttural roar, Ben exploded from the wreckage like a volcanic eruption, grabbing a rusted steel beam and swinging it like a bat into Abomination's chest. The impact hurled Blonsky across the tracks into a collapsing tunnel wall. But as dust settled, Abomination rose again, unshaken. "This is just the beginning," he spat. "Let's see what happens when we take this fight where people can watch. Your fall." And with that, he burst through the tunnel ceiling, heading upward, toward the city. Ben stared after him, panting. He picked up his communicator, voice gruff. "Reed, tell the others to clear Midtown." "Why?" came Reed's voice, already tense. "Because I'm bringing the fight to the surface, and trust me, it ain't gonna be pretty." The night sky over Midtown Manhattan lit up in chaos. Civilians screamed as a section of 42nd Street exploded in a hail of rubble and steam, a hulking greenish-yellow monster erupting from the depths below. Cars flipped, windows shattered, and fire hydrants burst into geysers as Abomination climbed onto the streets with a guttural roar. He rose to his full, towering height, claws dripping, muscles bulging, eyes gleaming with rage. The monster was loose, and the city would tremble before him. "Come out, Grimm," Abomination bellowed. "Let them watch you fall. Let them see the hero bleed." Police sirens wailed in the distance, but no squad car could stop this. The air crackled with tension. Then from behind a crashed taxi, a shadow emerged. The Thing. His silhouette walked through the smoke, slow and purposeful, dragging a bent steel pipe across the asphalt. His rocky skin bore fresh cracks. His eye was swollen and his blood, oozed between the stone plates of his chest, but his voice was steady. "You want to do this in front of the world? Fine by me." Then, with no more words, they charged. The impact shook skyscrapers, cracked streets, and set off car alarms for blocks. Abomination grabbed a city bus and hurled it like a missile. Ben ducked beneath it, rolled forward, and smashed his full weight into Blonsky's midsection, driving him through a concrete wall and into a high-rise lobby. Marble floors shattered under them. Escalators collapsed. The two behemoths tore through the building like wrecking balls, trading blow for blow with ground-shaking force. Abomination roared, swinging with ferocity and precision. He gouged deep trenches in Ben's side with his claws. He drove him through 4 walls and into the elevator shaft. "You're slowing down, Grimm," he snarled. "That stone body of yours can't keep up forever." But the Thing, bloodied and breathless, grinned. "Buddy, I was slow when I clobbered Galactus's herald. You think you scare me?" He grabbed the elevator cable, swung around, and delivered a full-bodied uppercut that launched Abomination up the shaft, smashing through 10 floors of steel and glass. On the rooftop, Abomination pulled himself to his feet, coughing blood and spitting a tooth. The Thing arrived seconds later, scaling the side of the building like a stone gorilla. For a brief moment, the city paused. People below watched, phones recording, hearts pounding. The two monsters stood at the edge of the rooftop skyline. Heroes and horrors silhouetted against the stars. Why won't you just die? Abomination howled. The thing planted his feet. Because I ain't fighting for me, he said. I'm fighting for everyone who ain't a monster. And because I made a promise that I'd never let freaks like you tear this world apart. Then he lunged. The final round began. Abomination lashed out with everything. He grabbed an HVAC unit and slammed it into Ben's head, dazing him. He landed a brutal knee into his ribs, followed by a hammering series of punches that cracked. Stone and bone alike. Ben dropped to one knee. Blonsky laughed, standing over him. You were never strong enough. Just another failed experiment trying to play hero. But then, Ben looked up, and in his eye that eternal spark of defiance. I'm done playing, punk. He drove a punch into the rooftop that caused it to collapse beneath them, and both Titans plummeted 15 stories into the parking structure below. They hit the ground in a cataclysmic blast that cracked pavement and sent concrete dust spiraling into the night air. Abomination staggered to his feet, barely conscious. Ben rose. Slower, but he rose. He looked like a broken sculpture, arm dangling, ribs crushed, but still standing. And then, with the last of his strength, he uttered the words, "It's clobberin' time." And with a roar that shook the heavens, he delivered. The final punch, a full-force haymaker to the jaw. It connected like a meteor. Abomination's body went airborne, launched across the parking lot, crashing into a cement wall with such force that it crumbled behind him. He didn't get up. For a moment, all was quiet. Ben collapsed to one knee, breathing like a freight train, body trembling. Civilians and police cautiously emerged from alleys, their fear turning into awe. A child stepped forward, pointing. Mom, he won. She nodded slowly. Yes, the monster won. Ben heard it, and for the first time in a long time, he smiled, because he knew she didn't mean it like that.